I'm so sorry. The song just played twice for some reason. Hi! Welcome to anyone who's even awake at this time on a Sunday. I'm aware this is highly unusual. Like, well, that's alright. I'm sorry if my voice is a little raspy. I literally just woke up. Or like got up. I've been awake for like an hour at least. So I'm simply, you know, just going to stream what I should have streamed yesterday evening. But we all know by now that I very rarely adhere to my streaming schedule, which makes it kind of dumb that I even have one. Well, yeah. Hi. Here we are. I hope you're good. I hope you all enjoyed a very nice Saturday or Sunday, depending on what time zone you're in. I slept well for once again. I feel like it's a little too little that I slept, but that's also very, you know, the usual case. I have my breakfast here with me. So if you hear some kind of sound, I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna do this right now and open it. Because it's like, yeah, nice. It's a Sunday morning. So we're going to be chilling and playing Ace Attorney Chronicles. I'm hoping to kind of get through the investigation today in this stream, so we can definitely move on to the trial next time round. I just really don't want to lose out on the progress we could have made in this game just because I don't do one stream. Alrighty. Anyway, let's continue where we left off, which was literally just at the start of investigation part 2. Which means we literally just went outside of the pawnbrokers. That's what we did, yep. 15th April, Baker Street. See? That's why I hate grown-ups. All they do is feed you a pack of lies and take stuff away from you. Oh really, Miss Lestrade? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm? What? Oh my, surely you were given that. Yeah, did he let me keep it after I looked daggers at him for long enough? He went through the pockets and then said, go on then, have it, before telling me to Scarborough. I love that she can do that with her hand, with the coin. That's really cool. I cannot do any kind of tricks like that, sadly. I wish I could. Always pays off giving people a look like you ate them. That's true. I often get told like even if I don't do it on purpose, I get told that I look really like, are you mad? Are you tired? Is everything okay? And just sit there like, yes, I'm tired. I'm always tired, but I'm not mad. I'm just concentrating. If I'm reading, my face will look like I'm trying to kill someone apparently, but it's just because I'm concentrating on the thing I'm reading, and I just got fucking powdered sugar on my graphic tablet. That is not what I was trying to do. Damn it. Because my breakfast today consists of waffles. Waffles I bought yesterday. I can't help feeling that it's going to get you into serious trouble one day. Oh, you mean into serious trouble again? Because she has been in serious trouble before. We barely got her out of there. What I really wanted was a nice shiny disc, mind. The music box disc. But Mr. Winterbank said it was practically worthless. I think I'm gonna go and have another bash, give him a long and hard stare. I think not, Miss Lestrade. We shouldn't end the Winterbacks again today. Why not? That's not fair. Can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Winterbank. But the disc's mine. I had the ticket for his coat and it was in his coat's pocket. And there should be something else and all. That's what that rotten cough said, ain't it? Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he? Well then, that's mine too, whatever it is. Now she's really pushing her on. Mrs. Straight, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day. Yeah, it's all your fault, Sholmes. So what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening? Eh? Iris would be delighted to cook, I'm sure, and I might entertain you with a modest violin recital. Now that you actually have your own violin, yeah? No, Ta. Oh. Way to come round your place, eh? Have you lost your head something? Have you lost your head something? I don't know how to do her accent, I'm sorry. I barely know British accents. Or any English accents for that matter. Oh, there she's gone. Having revolved on me quite unnecessarily, I might add. I can't help wondering if perhaps she might turn up anyway. Interesting. Once she's had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come. That's true. Very well then. I'll inform Iris to set a place for our potential guest at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later too. Sorry? I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you. Oh, how exciting! What is it? You shall have to wait and see, Mr. Sato. Until later then. Au revoir! Okay. Can I actually investigate Baker Street? Look at all the different things in the window of this shop. That's Winnebank's, the pawnbroker, where we literally just were. It looks much smarter than the pawnbrokers in Japan, doesn't it? Yes, you're right. I find pawn shops at home rather inapproachable, personally. It reminds me of tearfully parting with my favorite fountain pen. I felt so miserable. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Mr. Naruto. Does it, though? Does it really? I don't really like that saying, not gonna lie. No, it doesn't make us stronger, right? It's like, I just feel bad. If it didn't kill me, it didn't try hard enough. And I literally just feel bad afterwards. Also, hi, good morning. It's already been 2 months since we started taking lodgings here above Mr. Strong's office. I still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this. Oh, I know. To actually be sharing accommodation with the world's greatest detective. If I ever find myself before a court of law now, I will have no one regret. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'd be happy to defend you, of course. I mean, I'm surprised. Listen, in typical Ace Attorney fashion, I'm surprised it's actually us that's been on the defense, on the defendant side, and not Susato, because, like, you know how often Maya has been in court because she apparently tried to kill someone and we had to defend her. So I'm surprised it's not Susato, but it's literally just Ryunosuke himself. Maybe mentally stronger, I guess. But it's like, why do I have to suffer just to get stronger? But yeah, good morning. I'd be happy to defend her though. If there's ever a case, I mean, there's a whole second game, and we don't know yet who the defendant in this case is going to be. I mean, God knows, maybe it is her now. But that's all we can look at. So, do we just, you know, go home? He said he wanted, you know, in the evening. Maybe it's evening by the time we go home? Question mark? Looks like it. But at least something's happening. 15th of April, 3:46 p.m. Shomsuit. Ah, Susie and Bruno! Come in, come in. Good afternoon, Iris. Thank you so much for breakfast this morning. Oh, don't mention it. Goodness, look at the time already. Busy as always? I am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening. Whoa, at 4 p.m.? Not even 4 p.m. you're already preparing dinner? What kind of dinner is in the making with you? That you need that much time? Sorry about the crunchy noises. Alrighty, you're obviously cooking something special, are you? 5 p.m. dinner, maybe. We always eat around 6. But most of the time it's like, yeah, we get started at 5 something to cook. So we can eat between 6 and 6:30 or something. But getting started on dinner at 4 p.m, that's... Oh yes, after all, we have a special guest joining us. We do? Guess who it is? Go on. You never guess. Look at those little eyes of hers shining. Oh dear, it is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it? It's Ginny! Isn't that exciting? Oh, what a surprise! Yes, it's wonderful news. It starts at 3 for 5 p.m. Maybe even 12 on a Sunday. Oh! Do you have that big of dinner? I mean, I'm not the person cooking most of the time here in this household, so I know very little about cooking. I'm gonna be real here. But unless it's like stuff that has to be cooking for a while, you know, obviously that you have to get started on, but otherwise it's mostly just, I don't know, if you set out some noodles to cook or something, that doesn't take that much time. And like sauce, I don't know, we don't really eat that fancy a dinner. I think. Iris seems overjoyed at the idea. I mean, she likes her, right? I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips for every profession. Wait! Yes, that does sound like fun. I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate. Ah, you missed another hood. Big family, actually. Sunday has 5 dishes. What? Every other day is meat, veggies, and... Whoa, okay. Okay, damn. 5 dishes. Okay, no, we mostly have like... the main dish, and then me, I mostly have like... a little, you know, from the main dish, just made it a little differently because I don't eat meat. And then like, I don't know, salad, veggies, some kind of stuff, but that's it for our dinners mostly. Wow, but we're only 3 people, so we don't need that big a dinner. By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Sholmes up to? We literally just saw him. Oh. Hurley. Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back. Oh. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Becca, you won't speak to me. Sorry. I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here. Okay. I don't know how to respond to that. Can't you see he's not here? I do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to everything. Yes, I see. Really, he behaves just like a child sometimes, Hurley does. Mr. Sholmes and Iris have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they? Yes, except that Iris is clearly the parent here. Come to think of it, I wonder where her real parents are. Well, I'd say don't mention it. If it's not been mentioned so far, we probably don't want to know. What's the matter, Runo? You have ever such a funny look on your face. Oh, no, it's nothing. I know what it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Sholmes, you're wondering? Am I right? How? How do you do? Oh, Runo, I can read you like a book. Yeah, he's really obvious. This girl is dangerous. No, you can ask me anything. I won't mind. Really? Okay. Sure, let's ask her then. Oh well, let's ask her about Ginny first, I guess. So by Ginny, you mean Miss Lestrade, the young woman from the McGilder case 2 months ago, right? Yes, who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Although, after that trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. And now we're the best of friends. Aww. Hello, TK. Good morning. I was this close to saying good evening. But it's not evening. For once. What a lovely tale. Now if I bump into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can. Wait, what? Oh. And I chase after her down the back alleys. Interesting idea of friendship. I mean, sure. It sounds kind of unconventional. Good morning to that raven that's outside, okay. Cry, cry, cry. And then I let her have the latest kind of smoke grenade I've developed. Oh. There's so many beautiful colors in the world. Ginny wants me to make a whole rainbow. I'm not sure if she actually wants you to do that. I suppose this means you've let Miss Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you? Yes, that's right. I'd got bored of it anyway. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it now. Poor Hurley. I can't wait for Ginny to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited. I just hope she does actually come. I think she will. Unless she's like in jail for some reason or another. I wouldn't put it past her. I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, haven't you? Well, it has crossed my mind that, and where are your real parents? Oh, my mommy and daddy aren't with me anymore. Yikes. Mommy passed away when I was born. Oh. And then around the same time, my father... Well, he had to go to a faraway land because of one of the cases he and Hurley were working on. Oh. Wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley? Yes. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysterious cases together. Oh, whoa! Okay, yeah, hi. That was my alarm for 8 a.m. It's 8 a.m. Thank you. I forgot about that. Jesus Christ. She didn't mention that before. He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the metal chest over there. Really? He recorded them all? I would bet money. I would bet money on the fact that some of those cases are going to become relevant again later on. Maybe in the second game. Maybe this time around, not sure, but definitely in the second game. So, good morning! I'm streaming early because I didn't stream yesterday evening. And I'm actually awake right now. I'm not usually awake at this time of day on a weekend. But depending on if I actually can get up at this time regularly, maybe I will, you know, do streams at this time. We'll see about it. So you mean it's true, Mr. Sholmes really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases? Oh yes, I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it? So Mr. Sholmes' partner was your father? Exactly. Harley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest, but it only made me want to look even more, so I opened it up. And found your father's memoirs. Damn. Yes, and so I asked Hurley. Who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. Well, I mean... But then he told me. That's when I found out that the author of all those accounts was my father. So Iris's father was Mr. Sholmes' partner. Do we know him? Like, is it actually, you know, the poor sap who was killed in the first case? I've practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in. So, it came as quite a shock. When Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy, I mean... Oh, it must have done. I wonder why Mr. Sholmes chose to tell you, and at such a young age. I mean... She's a very intelligent young girl, but on the other hand, I feel like because she is that intelligent, I feel like her emotional side would have taken quite a harsh beating if you told her this. It's like, yes, she's very intelligent and can do lots of interesting technical stuff, but like, she's still just a child. Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me. Oh? Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, you might say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There's some things I can just see. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouths sometimes. Right. She basically has to take care of him. Yeah. And she's like, what? 10? 8? 10? I already forgot. Anyway, I was so fascinated when I read Eddie's diaries. That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, actually. I'd always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told the oldest thrilling stories. Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets everything. As soon as he solves the case, it all but vanishes from his mind. I see. The other day was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. It was quite a shock for everyone. I can say that again. You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right, Wilson. Daddy's Dr. John H. Wilson. Yep, that's him. I learned from Mr. Iris that he's a doctor of medicine, you see. That's what prompted me to study and study so that I could earn a doctorate as well. Iris' father, who went to some distant land, and is a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. The court will now hear the trial for Jonas Genado. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. That's right, visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University, and the man who, in the most bizarre circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. That's him? That's the same guy? Mr. Seto? Yes. Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time. I think that would be for the best. Oh, he's awake again. Nice. Yeah, like, maybe don't tell the poor girl who literally just told you that her dad has been dead. That you were right there when he died. And you managed to prove your innocence, and you know how he died. I don't think she would like to hear it. My dear fellows, how good to see you. Eee! Mr. Sholmes! Why ever did you not make your presence known to me before? Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you? We've been with you for most of the day. Goodness, really? I have to wonder though, is Sholmes actually like that, or is this just like a persona he sets up and he's actually a very calculating individual that is acutely aware of everything around him? Because I don't trust him. Like, not in a sense that I would think he would do evil, but like, I don't trust his scatterbrained persona. Good afternoon. Wait, that's alright. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, that works. It's 8 a.m. actually. What time is it for you right now? It's 8 a.m. Hi. How are you? So tell me, Mr. Sholmes, is your violin unscathed? My violin? Whatever you're talking about, dear madam. First case so long. It is. It's such a long case. It's like normally you would get like a tutorial, you know, just to get how it works. But in this game's case, it's like it's an actual full-blown case. I mean, it took me, I think, 5 hours or 6 or something, and like that was the literal first stream. I was like, wow, damn, okay. Well, how you like it so far? Because just so you're aware, we're on the 5th case. We're on the 5th case, not that you actually accidentally get spoiled, you know. Morning or evening. Evening. A 5th case or first game, yeah. There is just an apologist said along first case. I actually don't remember the first cases in those games, not gonna lie. I have to replay them, I think. Oh well, finish Spirit of Justice in the first case. Never mind that now, I have something far more interesting to show you. Do you know? Behold, my dear why do you have it? Oh, another music box disc. No, not another disc, Mr. Seto. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence. Mr. McGill, it's a what? Where did the blood go? The overall plot of the first game caused a fan translation. Ah, okay. Okay, so at least you won't get spoiled, right? Okay, that's good. Remembering the logic portion is a blank. Until you start game 2, I'm not worried. Okay, good. Good for me then. That means you can stay. Oh my. Then what's it doing here? You know at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think that though I have an undeniable turn for detection. I may well be even more adept at larceny. I don't know what that means. Wait, what the fuck does that mean? Larceny? Oh, okay, you're a thief. I see. Can you guys use normal words that a typical non-English speaker actually knows? Can I stay for as long as I can stay awake and push the midnight? Oh, is it still Saturday in your case then? Because here it's Sunday. Stealing, It'll be wonderfully exciting. I'd be your pickpocketing assistant, please. And Runa could be our go-to lawyer if you ever got caught. It's still Saturday. Ah, I see. You know, I just got up because I didn't stream this game yesterday evening, so I thought I'm gonna stream it right now. I'm just eating breakfast meanwhile. Right. Bless, Susie has such beautiful handwriting. She could write all our menacing crime notifications. Okay. Yes, I really like it. I'm just going to pretend this conversation never happened, I think. Alright. The music box disc. Where did the blood go? I don't understand. How did that disc come to be in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard. Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this. What does the chocolate have to do with it? Oh, caramel. Oh, wait. Sholmes' caramel. Wow, they actually worked on the asset that it says Sholmes? I don't know why I'm surprised by things like that. It's like those tiny things in games. When they get translated, when they actually rework assets that say something specific. It's like those tiny things that make me so happy. Especially for Japanese games, because so often you just won't get them translated, and yes, the text will have the translation, but the asset still looks the same. I know it's hard work to rework assets, but like, this is cool. It now says Sholmes Caramel. That's great. It's about caramel, Mr. Sholmes. Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken. If you will humor me, my dear fellows, cast your minds back to when a good detective confiscated the disc. Okay. I'll be taking out whatever it is of McGillis down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. Yes, of course. If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. Capitulate? It's all yours, Inspector. For the briefest of moments I had the disc in my hand, did I not? Yes, you did, but I still don't understand. It was precisely that moment that I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars. Like, that's why there's no blood on it? Because you made a copy? That's amazing. The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image in a caramel. It's not a really big... I cannot tell. How big is that disc? Because I was thinking like... What are they called? What are those things called in English? Wait, let me look it up. I have never... Vinyl. I was thinking like it's the size of a vinyl disc, but maybe it's smaller. Because otherwise, how would you press it in a caramel bar? 2 bars of chocolate big? Well, yeah. But it's smaller than a vinyl plate then. Disc, whatever. This caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. It's a small music box, I guess. Maybe, yeah. The game is fucking with my mind because they had that really big music box in the background, so I was thinking maybe the discs are also really big, but they never said that it was a disc for that kind of music box. Suitable soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting. The result of a precisely controlled solution, so it's not actually for eating at all. How extraordinary. Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proves very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press in its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will, and never without high sucrose nourishment. I wouldn't go around telling that people so proudly willy-nilly, otherwise you're going to end up in jail at some point. I think. It sounds illegal. From the image I was able to create this. I confess I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played. So what is it? It's dirty. Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes, what music does the disc play? Well, unfortunately, I have no idea. Because you don't have a music box that can play it? No idea. None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows? No, I'm afraid not. Goodness, you don't know, Runo? No. What? Inside a music box there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. Oh yeah, I'm aware of that. Small protuberances plug the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making different notes. The first music boxes to be invented used a rotating cylinder with protuberances on it. I hate that word. Protuberances. But over time, a new type of player was produced which uses discs such as these. With that development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide all around the globe. Why exactly? Because the discs are easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result. I see. It's wonderful to be able to enjoy music, even when no performer is present. That's true. Okay, there we go. Chalky milk drunk. But it's the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem. What do you mean? As you may imagine, the construction of one firm's music box does not match that of another. So it works. I'm guessing the comb faces downwards, where you said the version of CD. I mean, maybe. I mean, the normal cylindrical music boxes are a thing in real life. I have one somewhere that can actually play, I don't remember which one, but a tune of Mozart's. But I'm not sure if those cylindrical things have actually, you know, ever existed in real life. Interchangeable too? No. I only know music boxes that have that one singular tune on them. And we have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There's no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable. I see. So that's why... Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. Oh, you do have some. But as you can hear, to no avail. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. So I'm like, wait, wait, is that a real life thing or is this something they made up for this game? So, I'm presently engaged in acquiring a sample of all the music boxes ever made in Europe. Oh, Jesus. No, this powdered sugar on my shirt now. God damn it. Every single one. That's early for you. Always taking things too far. But my dear girl, an unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution. But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it? Yes, that is certainly true. In a worst case, I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room. What? You can't do that. You can't do that. Do we actually pay rent for that room, by the way? I'm not sure. Do we just live there or do we have to pay rent? Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear again so soon. Yes, it's only been 2 months since the Grizzly case. I literally just played it. You don't have to show me that one CG every time. Mr. McGilda perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. I wonder who killed him. Like, I don't think it's him. What is the curse of the Reaper? No one knows still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash, not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. I'm guessing free, since we can't get a good case to Betables. That's true. We've been 2 months without a case. And they sound like nice people. I'm hoping they won't have us pay. I mean, they did tell us, hi, sure, come here. So you won't have to find a hotel. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGillet's innocence in a trial, the newspapers are still claiming that he remains an unsolved case. Well, I don't think he's innocent.
Yo, Puzzle, hi! Thank you for the sub, welcome! Ayaya! Ayaya!
Good morning! The murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Trice fired Mason. Also, I wonder if that guy is not someone even more important. Like, yes, he's dead, but maybe he knew something big, and that's why he had to die. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. I can hazard a guess. And although Mr. McGill was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. Where did his money go? That's a good question. Surely someone must have profited from the demise of Mr. McGill. It would appear the case is not yet closed. Well, it's time I started getting things ready for dinner, I think. Ginny will be here before long. Will she? Thank you, Iris. Oh, well, you must let me help you then. Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do. Okay, what do we do? I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it? Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker. Yes, you may be right. Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Winneback said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he? Did he? Yes, he did. Yes, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Sholmes' latest tales of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom, were his words, I believe. So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were as incensed as I was. Oh yes! The idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Winneback's storeroom gathering does. My dear madam, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it, more secure than a bank's vault. And what about your Stradivarius, Hurley? Was that safe and secure? Well, there may be the occasional mix-up, caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now. Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Baskerville story, Hurley? Oh, the Baskerville story is in the vault. I see. It sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I should love to read it. What? What is it? What is it? What did she say? What? Ah. Wait, what? What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill has swept through the room? Susie, what did you just say? You said the Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title? Well, Did you sneak it out? That's because Mr. Sitter is such a great fan of all the stories of Mr. Sholmes, of course. But Runo, the Hoon of the Baskervilles has never been published. What? When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet. I don't understand. That's why he said that he'd keep it safe. Until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see. So that's why the manuscript is at Winniebanks? And yet, how could Susie here know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on? Yeah, what the fuck is going on? Ah. What is it, Mr. Sholmes? It would appear our guest has arrived. Wow. Way to deflect from the topic at hand. Mr. Straight. This was a bad idea. I knew a weren't welcome. I'm going. You're not going anywhere. No, wait, Mr. Straight. We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. That's true. We're not lying. Haven't we, Iris? Aww. Ah yes, just wait here, Ginny. We'll have everything ready in a jiffy. Come along, Susie. Right, of course. It's a pleasure to see you here, Mrs. Straight. Please make yourself at home. Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. What say you to some Mendelssohn? I won't take no for an answer. Mendelssohn it is, then.
Kitty! Kitty! Here comes the boy. Hello, boy. Welcome.
That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome, and Gina, as we came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Great! Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves well into the night. That's good. 15th of April, 9:34 p.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. Where does he sleep though? Like, if the room in the back is her room, where does Naruhodo sleep? Where does Ryunosuke sleep? It was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it? Oh yes, Iris' cooking was truly divine. And I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sholmes' violin even now. Best of all, I bet I could see the glass from his lordship's face next time we're in court. Maybe don't. Naruhodo-san, could I consult with you about something, I wonder? What's the matter, Suzuka-san? It's about the telegram I received. Oh? Ah. The one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose. Sure, tell me. I've been summoned. What? Summoned? What do you mean? The telegram was from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Stronghead has asked to see me. The Lord Chief Justice. When? Tomorrow morning. What? Then we have to start preparing at once. Oh, no. That won't be necessary, Naruhodo-san. I've been summoned alone. Alone? What on earth for? I don't trust that guy. I don't trust him. I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow. I don't trust him. Don't go there alone, please. What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy.
Knock knock. Who's there?
Who could that be? I wonder. There's only Good evening, friends. Iris. Hello again. You're still awake? Oh, Gina's still here. Hi. And Gina too. Yes, Ginny's going to stay with us tonight. She's going to sleep in with me. Isn't that right, Ginny? Well, yeah. How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea. I love them both so much. They're so cute. And I've learned so much today. Oh, what? In particular? All those things Ginny showed us. Wasn't it wonderful? Ah, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques. We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we? I think I've awakened a natural talent. I could earn a living from it. You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So, what brings you to our humble quarters at this late hour? I wonder how she does her hair every morning. It reminds me of Chibi-User from Sailor Moon, but that's mostly just a pink. The hairstyle in and of itself is not too similar, but the pink. Well, you see, I came to return this. Wait, what? That's mine! Oh my, however did you... I told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for it. Oh yes, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius. So anyway, here, you can have it back. Not that I really understand why you wear it though. Ah, thank you. Alright then, good night. Yes, good night. What is it? So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Ginny? I think I wouldn't fancy me chances with a lawyer who lives in a place like this. Yes, me too. It seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about. Okay, sure. I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript. Yes, I suppose she probably does. Let's see then. Let's talk about it. Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you? Aren't you going to tell me? I'm so sorry. I need a little more time, please. How did she find it? Alright, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward. Oh no, not at all, Iris. Not at all. I don't know what all this is about really, but it's a story you made up, is it, Iris? This mantle script or whatever you call it? It's not exactly a story that I made up. It's something I read in Daddy's diaries. Daddy's? That's right. I don't suppose I've mentioned it to you before, Jeannie, but my daddy was Hurley's assistant once, his partner. Eh? They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together. Is that right, mister? Apparently so. I was as surprised as you are, though. And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. So I study them and write my stories based on what actually happened. So, where's your old man now, then? Dead. He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land, and he'd be gone a very long time. So, I've never really met him. Oh, right. Come to think of it. I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should... Perhaps, if people don't tell you about their parents, you should not go and ask them. Because most of the time, what you're going to get as an answer is going to be a very awkward, my parents are not in my life anymore. Either because they've been gone for a long time, maybe they're dead, maybe they're not on good terms, maybe don't ask someone you don't know that well about their fucking parents. Please! Iris, this Hoon of the Basketball story. I take it that it's another tale inspired by your father's accounts? That's right. I thought it was fascinating. But it's different somehow. From the other cases, I mean. Fucking lawyers. Oh, how? I don't really know, but it must be special in some way. Because after I'd written it and I showed the manuscript to Hurley, he turned as white as a sheet. It was the first time I've ever seen him like that. Oh. Listen, if I knew anything about the original Sherlock Holmes, maybe Hoon of the Baskervilles would also tell me something, but I don't know the original case either. The only Baskervilles I know are the ones from Pandora Hearts. So that's not really helpful. It pains me to have to say this after you've toiled over it for so long, Iris, but this story must not be published at this time, under any circumstances. But why not? It's one of my best works. I'm not at liberty to say, not now, so please do not ask me. Aw. Alright then, I won't. But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right. Probably in the second game then. And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Winterback, isn't it? Yes. Hurley said it had to be somewhere very safe. I really gets my goat, that does. He's treating you like a child. It's mean, that's what it is, keeping secrets like that. I mean, maybe there's something in the story that would really bring to light things that should not be brought to light right now. Because there is always some truth in these. Obviously, obviously Iris changes a bunch of things, but if she bases it on true events, there's going to be some truth in it. I'm sure Mr. Sholmes isn't trying to be mean. If he said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason. I think so too. You look too trusting for your own good, but it can't pull the wool over my eyes. Sholmes is lying to Iris, I bet my life on it. What? Don't say that. Hurley's lying to me. No, don't say that. She really trusts him. No. I want to move to the right. The right? No! Let me move to the right. Oh yeah, sure, let's ask about her parents, sure. I've realized that I don't know anything about your parents, Gina. I ain't got any, have I? Never did have. Oh. See, that's why I say don't ask random people about their parents. Look, the East End's full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us from the minute we're born, not even our moms. But we all stick together. The older ones look after the little ones and make sure they get by. So that's why you're a pickpocket. Nah, living's my life, I love it. I get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's how we all afford to eat. I'm not Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see. Oh, Gina. I do think about it sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents, I mean. I always thought it'd make everything right. But having listened to what Iris just said, it sounds like having parents ain't always easy either. Oh. It's true. I mean, if you know you never had them, you don't feel like you're always wanting to meet them. It's true. I do want to see Daddy so much. He's dead. Oh, Iris. He's dead. You cannot see him. I don't even know where they buried him. Would they bury him in Japan just because he died there? Would they send him back? I mean, this was before they had, you know, easier ways to get to a different country.
It's the cat. Hello. Hello, boy. Welcome.
Gina, what did you mean when you said that you know Mr. Sholmes is lying to Iris? Well, you reckon he bought the manuscript or whatever, right? Come on, that's obviously a lot of rubbish. Oh my, why would you think that, Gina? Simple. If the story was really an old Winterbank storeroom, there's no way someone from around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. Ah. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. But Hurley would never do something like that. I'm sure of it. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. You just didn't realize it yet. I'm telling you, the mantle script ain't at Winnie Banks. You'd soon see if you had a look. Even if you think you can trust him, I don't. That Sholmes is a liar like the rest of them. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. See? Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt them. Don't be too hard on yourself, Iris. I wonder how Susato got her hands on it, though. Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come along, Ginny. We should go back downstairs. Yeah, alright. That's a heavy topic to go to sleep to, not gonna lie. And please don't mention any of this to Hurley, will you? No, of course not. Good night then, Iris. Good night, Gina. You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning, I insist. Oh, Japanese-style breakfast? Yes, please, I can wait, Susie. Good night then. Iris, it sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult, but deep down, she's still just a child. That she is. Especially a child genius. She's still a child. Boom! A child. Well, I think it's time that I turned in for the night too, Naruhodo-san. Good night, then. I wonder where he sleeps, though. Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris' father, but also the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yuma University. It can't be a mere coincidence. There's something deeper going on. Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo. The voice. That's Mr. Sholmes. Oh, another late night visitor, is it? What's going on? It's the middle of the night. It's Miss Lestrade. She's gone. Gina. She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed is empty. Well, she's an independent young woman. She probably decided to go home, no? Why would she? I think not. From speaking to her before she retired, I received a distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Susato. No, I don't believe the girl has gone home, but I've been waiting for over an hour now. Over an hour? Oh. If you'll indulge me. Look out of the window, my dear fellow. What's this about? What's going on? You think she's going to try and steal it? The manuscript? See if it's actually there? Wait a minute, why is there a light on at this time of night? It's Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery. Mr. Windibank's... Oh no. She's going to... Oh fuck. It's simple, if Historia was reading in old Windibank's storeroom, there's no way someone from half around the world, in other words you, could know about it. Fuck! No, don't do it, Gina! Sorry, Ice, but if you ask me, he stole it. Without telling you. Could Gina have gone? It seems you have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? Oh, no, not really. Well, anyway, we must investigate. At once. Miss Susato. Hi! Did you sleep in that, or did you literally just put that kimono on in like, I don't know, 2 minutes? 16th of April, 1:14 AM, Baker Street. The door to Windibank's, it's open. And the lamp's burning. It must be Gina, mustn't it? Let us hope it's nothing more sinister. What? Come, there's not a moment to lose. Clearly something is afoot inside. Uh-oh. 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 There's no one here. Oh, yes, there is. Bang! Wait, what? It's Sholmes! Wait, did he just get shot? What the? Has Sholmes been shot? Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo. But after them, go. Right. What? What? Hello? Lost. I've lost them. Hello, what have we here? The alarm was just raised from this pawnbroker, sir. Would you know something about that? Officer, come with me. It's my friend, Mr. Sholmes. He's been shot. Shot? Hi. Hi, random Bobby, who's probably going to blame us. The policeman close behind me ran back to Windybanks. Oh no, what? Uh-oh. Oh no.
Holmes-san!
She called him Sama! Damn!
僕は大丈夫だ。心配ない。それよりもあの扉の向こうだ。
え？
早く。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's one or two or three too many people who are on the ground unconscious. At least unconscious, if not shot, if not dead. Holy fuck. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, wrong button. Oh shit. Bang. A scream. I'll be alright, Mr. Naruhodo. After them, go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Behind that door, in the storeroom. Hurry. There's a dead person. Oh, and she has a gun in her hands? Well, that looks planned. That looks planned, very much planned. It's not her. Why would she shoot him? From that moment, Windybank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn, before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. Oh, fuck! 16th of April, 6:21 AM, Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Iris! Oh, Iris! I'm sorry about breakfast. A telegram came. Well, all it said was wait at home. Oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back. When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Bruno? Poor Iris, she's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know. Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yes, I'm afraid so. Fuck, bro! The hell? Okay. Okay. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windybank is dead. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning. Oh, yes, I had a feeling. You did? Well, I saw all of those police carriages pulling up outside the shop. So I knew something must have happened here. There, whatever. When we entered Windybanks in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street and I chased after them, but they got away. So it was one of them who shot Mr. Mr. Old Windybank? What? Who shot old Mr. Windybank, I suppose. I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. Oh, why not? They've arrested someone else as the prime suspect, you see? Gina. Ginny? But why? Well, the thing is... No, Ginny wouldn't do something like that. I know. None of us think she did it. And why have they arrested her? Because she was unconscious in the locked storeroom with the guy who's dead and she had a gun in her hand. I'm sorry, there was nothing I could do. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, sure, let's talk about Gina's arrest first. I don't understand why they arrested Ginny, it's not fair. What about the few thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they? No! I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris. This is also horrible. The thing is, Mr. Winterbank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all the deposited articles, and the storeroom door was locked from the inside. I see. But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well. Oh no. And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards. Don't tell me. There was no one else in the room? Yes, exactly. How do you know? It's the only explanation. Yes, the only explanation indeed. What do you mean by that, Bruno? Well, what can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? No, I think he's in the hospital. He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals. I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to the hospital this morning. What? Well, when we entered Winterbanks, a gun was fired and he took a bullet. Hurley was shot. No. It's alright. His life isn't in danger. Really, are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital? He's at St. Sinners. They're tending to him there. St. Sinners? I must see him at once. I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't. Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed. No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see. To operate. They probably have to get the bullet out, right? Fuck.
Hey,
How? Let me eat you, you stupid waffle. Poor Hurley. Yeah. That's very true. Injured Sholmes. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Winterbank's shop. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them, go! Well, I mean, if someone gets shot in front of you, I think you'd be hard-pressed to actually react. Like normal. After that, I ran out into the street, but, well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I let them get away. I think that's a very good thing. Sorry? Well, if you'd seen which way they ran and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Bruno. That's very true. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that. Oh, Iris. Oh, baby. I'm sorry. Where's Susie, Bruno? She's still at the police station? Oh, why? I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while. Why aren't you there then? Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they won't question me for long. And Miss Susato stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later. I see. Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early. You should have let me know, and I would have come to the station. We can't have that. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment, but I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on. I want to go too. Take me with you, Bruno. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting. I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder. But I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me? Yes, I'd love to. Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed. And don't forget we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation. Ah, I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. So funny how her eyes become so big when she puts that thing on. I love it. Okay. I say we start with the crime scene simply because it's the closest. I love attic rooms down here. They're so exciting, are they? Let's go look at the crime scene first. See what we can find out. There's a random Bobby there. 16th of April, Windybank's pawnbrokery. Oh, what about this? Who said to summon to the chief something's office then? This is what happened then, last night. That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables. But apart from the policeman here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance. No, you're right about that, actually. In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seems to be the ones doing the ransacking. I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. Oh, I heard that. Hi. If he's eating, I want to eat as well. Oh, Inspector, good morning. I suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before I was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I thought you'd send extra men to the beat around here, Graxy. Now look what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty. Your ladyship! No one told me you were coming. I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care. Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are attending to him as we speak. And I don't think it's Runa's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job. Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. He's like putty in her palm. The giant in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Oh, wow, me manners. Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice, refreshing fruit juice? Oh my fucking god. Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Graxy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me if you'd like some. Aww. I love it. Lovely. That very much. They really hit the spot, your ladyship. I don't even recognize him like this. Alright, tell me. What happened? So, how's the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple case this. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge the diver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina, you're going to charge her? That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow. Sounds like a new case for us. Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me. Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid. I see. You've already captured a pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you? What the? And you're going to put them at the stand as witnesses, are you? How could you? How? How could you possibly know that? Lucky guess. I had a feeling, that's all. Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Holmes, have you? Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. And Mrs. Straight is being held at the prison. She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jail, of course. I don't think she's that dumb. Like, because if she did that and ran from prison when she's a suspect in a murder case, I don't think she would do that. Because then she'd have to be on the run even more than usual for like pickpocketing. Because then she wouldn't be safe. She's a known face with the police, right? Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition? Ah, the kids next door are awake as well. Can't believe I woke up before them. So, we're not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential. Well, I know he's being operated on as thanks sinners. Thank you for the follow. Her name looks a little suspicious, not gonna lie. If you're a real person, I'm so sorry. If you're bored, well, can't help being suspicious lately. When can't I see him? I'm family, you know. I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy, no visiting at all. Oh. Oh, okay, it's a hospital? The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood. Oh! Oh no. That's really bad. He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so, but a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes back down. Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They've got to stop that bleeding. But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better. Oh, of course, your ladyship. He'll be as right as rain before you know it. Really? How do you know? Eh? How do I know? Well, because, of course. Yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective, that's why. We better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again. Oh dear, please don't die, Hurley. He won't die. I report to your ladyship the moment he is out of the operating theater. Hello from me during my work break. Have fun with the funny again. Thank you so much for the sub. Hi. You at work right now? Ooh. Good luck to you. I hope it's a relaxing day. Thank you for coming by. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. What? Oh, the sunshine. Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. Watch the sauce, Sonny. I'm a cop and we don't go in for favoritism. But he's right. You do treat us differently. It's never a relaxing day. I'm sorry. Then I hope at least you'll be able to survive it. It's because of those adventures of Sherlock Holmes stories, that's why. Oh. I crop up in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson. Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's. What did you write about the Inspector, Iris? I don't remember, really. It was one of Sholmes' lines. Gregson's the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it. Oh, did I write that? And you know what that one line did for me, eh? The very next month, my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all the Sherlock Holmes stories. What?
Meow. What? What is it?
Do you want to be on stream so bad? Do I have to build a cat camera, yeah? Cat camera for the stream. Accused new of the crime that says, ah, damn, whatever shall I do? Might just have to defend myself, huh? They've even set up a fan club for me. Whoa! Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me. Can you blame me? All I take is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective will say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out in print, eh? That's why. The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost to worrying about it. But that would never happen, Grexy. Every month when the new Rants magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages. Aww. How awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves. He does it with his pinky. What a gentleman. Oh, lovely. Not very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. Teetotal. Teetotal! Oh, yeah. There's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Anahudo. Yes, what is it? I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now. An important message. I wonder what it could be. Chief Inspector, maybe? Because Susato can't come? Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector? Yeah, it's about a young lady who's normally by your side, your sister. Dear Susie, is she alright? She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, but I believe? Nope, not anymore. She had to head off. Oh! Head off to where? To Lord Stronghead's office, of course. He summoned her. Thank you for the posture check. Ah, yes, of course, I'd forgotten about it. I didn't. I did not forget about that. Thank you for the hurt. One of the whipstocks took her there in a yacht carriage after we'd finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you she didn't have to fear for a return journey and to go and meet her there. Okay. She's got a nerve, using Stokeland Yard as a blooming messaging service. See, well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector. I don't trust the Chief Lord... whatever. Lord Chief Justice, sorry. Why did Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice? Ooh, what do you want me to say? She didn't tell me. But I better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Alright, sure, let's do that then. Igiari. Igiari. Hmm. 16th of April, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. What a mouthful. Where do you work? At the Lord Chief Justice's office in the British Supreme Court. Blah, blah. You did it. I did it. Yes, no matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal. Anyway, Moth, I found you too! Survive the day! I'm rooting for you. How so? I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you? Maybe it thinks the same about you. So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust? Yes, thank you very much. There they are, Susato-san and Lord Strongheart. I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious. Very good. There's nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your home. What? Wait, what did he just say? Your return to your homeland? Susato-san. Oh, Mr. Nanahudo. What was all that about? Mr. Nanahudo, thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's this all about? Why were you talking about Miss Susato's return to her homeland? And And I know early stream. Yeah, I'm weird. Yeah, it's a extremely early stream for me. It's because I didn't do yesterday's stream, and I didn't want to lose out on the time I could spend on this game this weekend. Why would you have to return home tomorrow? Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial? You mean... Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I am. Thank you. Now that I'm actually rested, I'm like... I woke up at 6 AM because I went to bed at so early. So it's a little weird. She's been formally charged now, oh dear. Alright, 6 AM, yep. Mrs. Sutter, what's all this about? Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as it has. That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving? It's my father. He's fallen ill. No! What? Professor Mikotoba. If I may. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe? Yes, yes, that's right. My name is Yuji Mikotoba. Good morning to you! I'm Professor of Forensic Medicine at Yuma University. That you are. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news. 10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker day by day. I don't believe it. As you're aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Mr. Sato's departure as much as possible. Yes, absolutely. But even if you get there, if he's already fallen weaker day by day and it's been 10 days, I think if you get there like in 50 days, he might already be dead. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. I can't believe this is happening. What the fuck? The hell? So Gina has been charged. She have to appear in court? Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow. No, not even 24 hours later? Who the fuck is taking our case? Gina. Ah, the Lestrade girl in the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. In all too conspicuous case, the pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is, without wasting time on these open and shut cases. This might just be the earliest stream you'll ever do. Yeah! True. It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart. In deference of your fine service today, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave. Now. Of course, Lord Strongheart. Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. Listen. Listen. You are literally the most criminal person in the room right now. I do not trust you for a single second. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters. Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday? Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday. It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. I don't trust this dude, I don't like him. 3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me. There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart. Which is... it's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her. A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation. But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial. Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct at Mr. Straight. You find her at the local prison. Yes, thank you. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. No, I wish you a horrible day. What a day. Gina charged with murder, Susato son about to leave. Sounds like a typical final case of a game. Come, Mr. Naruto, Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie, you're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can. Thank you, Miss Susato. It's a very pensive look. Damn. If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can as a lawyer. Sure. Let's go to... the detention center then. April, local prison, cell 30. Hi. Long time no see. Hello, Gina. Why would you do that? Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made. I wish you wouldn't point it at me all the time, though. What are you here for? Ginny, I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So we were thinking that we might be able to help you. Well, you can't. Sorry? You heard. Get lost. Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you would. You think you know me. Pull the other one. Oh. You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I saw my chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. That's not true. Just to see what I could lay my hands on, get it? That's the kind of person I am. But Ginny... I'm being caught tomorrow, they said. Some cove came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like. Said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need no one. She couldn't be staring at me anymore, obviously, if she tried. Why are you being like this, Ginny? Ouch. That is one stern look Susato-san is giving Gina. So tell me what happened. Oh well, first tell me about the legal Jesus Christ, legal thing. I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? Pikachu? Okay.
Pikachu. Pika. Pikachu.
He wanted me to sign some papers, representation papers or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway, the whole trial. News Pikachu best. Aw, thank you. Depending on me because I'm a kid, that's what grown-ups always do. Why do you think that? Because that's how it's always been for me, growing up in the back slums, my whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, you'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers, or worse. I've had it happen to me before and all, been soldiered and nearly snapped on the back of it. You can't trust no one, that's the point. As soon as you do, you're gone to grass. There. Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could forget it. Ginny, don't you trust Runo? Nah, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. Oh. Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night at the pawnbrokers? There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me and you know the rest. But why, Ginny? Why would you do that? Ain't obvious. The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Living ain't easy, you know. It's a lot of work and half the time you don't even get nothing. Is that really why you broke into the place? What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else? Oh, give it a rest. What'd be the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Ginny. We'll believe you, whatever it is. Believe me, don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies out. What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies? Hmm? What do you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you've told are? Maybe we can help. Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna wanna question me now. Ginny, please. Oh yeah. I want to give you this. Something to remember me by.
Kitty!
A photographic print of a really adorable cat. Okay, thanks. I found I wanted pockets of this coat. Ain't no point in me having it. I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in the pocket of that overcoat. Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye. Oh, Jenny. A photograph depicting a sweet little white cat obtained from Gina while interviewing her in a prison cell. Alright, let me see.
Kitty!
This is an adorable little cat. I think it looks a little like Wagahai. I always thought that cats like to curl up inside on the heat kotatsu blanket when it snowed. Maybe British cats are different. Maybe. No, I wanted to turn it around. Aha! Ha, ha. What's all this then? Look on the back of this print here. There's something written on it. 13th of February, 9 PM. Article deposited 1 small box. Loan amount paid 10 shillings. Redemption deadline 13th of April, 9 PM. So this photographic print is a redemption ticket. For an article that was deposited 2 days prior to the incident on the omnibus, it would seem. Yes, a small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it? Perhaps it contains some valuable mementos. And I'm wondering, presumably Mr. McGill had never redeemed the article in question since he still had the ticket. So isn't it possible that the box is still present somewhere in the shop? Yes! If it's something McGill deposited, we need to investigate. A redemption ticket issued from the pawnbrokery owned by the victim, Mr. Winterberg, in the form of some handwritten notes on the back of the photograph. I see. Okay, sure. Who haven't we seen yet? We have not visited Sherlock yet.
Thank you for the posture check.
16th of April, St. Sinners Hospital, Ward 3. And the higher time, Jesus. You guys are making me drink a lot. Hurley. Okay, you go going the full course.
Pikachu. Pika pika. Pikachu.
Oh, Oh, he's not in? Mr. Shrums is nowhere to be seen. No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he wasn't about by the window, didn't she?
Good night. It's been a great see you. See you all next time. Okay, good night.
Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby, and the bullet one wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home. I'm not so sure about that, baby or not. There's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Shrums suffered. Oh dear, I do hope Mr. Shrums will be alright. Hello, hello, we're here. There's waters off limits, no visiting. So what are you doing in here, eh? Well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin. Eh? Oh! Well, begging your pardon, madam. A little lady and a curious eastern pair. The great mystery solver has a mysterious family, eh? That's how you see us, sure. Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley? I believe he's currently in operating theatre, madam, undergoing an extensive operation. Extensive? It has been several hours since he went in. Oh my. Has there been some kind of problem? Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is. Huh? I read a report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Oh, poor Hurley. Mr. Nanahodo. Oh, yes? What is it, Mr. Sato? I hope you won't think me selfish, but do you think we could perhaps go to visit Gina? I've just realized I won't have another opportunity to say farewell. Why didn't you do that just now? Yes, of course. Susato-san may not see Gina again before she has to leave. I wish I knew what Susato-san was thinking. Anyway, let's go back to the prison then. Okay, sure. I guess. Let's go back then. I mean, apparently this is actually what the game wants us to do. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. What? I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Eh? Farewell? Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris was so miserable. Susie. Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They've put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. What? It's my fault? Yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here now, I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Eh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. What are you talking about? If you expect me to do it? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Magnus McGilder was acquitted? The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Will you tell us about it now? Will you? Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand. And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilda was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. I knew it. What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in a little cubbyhole. I couldn't see a thing, and then... thud. I heard a loud thud, like someone falling on the floor. And that's when Mr. McGilda discovered you? Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There weren't much light to see by, but when I looked at my hands, I had the cuffs blood all over them. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak. You had his blood on your hands. In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight. I've been saying that. Then Mr. McGilda started asking you questions, I suppose? Who you were, why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all. What do you mean? I mean he threatened me. Threatened you how? He made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard, and about what he was gonna do after Cove was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarp it before the coppers showed up. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Ooh, lots of things to talk about. You said Mr. McGilda made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw, but you were in a pitch-black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you? Yes, with Mr. McGilda sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but...
Right, I gotta get up, so I'll catch you later. Okay!
Thank you for coming. It was when I heard the thud of the cover hitting the floor. I let out a little scream, see? I couldn't help it. McGilda heard that and dragged me out by my arm, and that's when I saw it. I was on the floor next to the old cheeser what had been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny. A disc? Do you mean... Yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off me at Winterbanks. So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus. Not for long, McGilda spotted it straight away. He picked it up smartish and stuffed it in its inside pocket. So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the box trotter told me I weren't to mutter a word of it to no one. I see. Because it was so dark under that seat in the cab, I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably that was McGilda getting on board? Nah, not only him. Oh, because I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. So they both got on at the same time? In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilda and the victim. Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilda claimed he slept during the carriage ride. She has that in her book. Whenever I'm in a carriage, I take me with a fierce tiredness and always succumb to it. And your own testimony, Gina, supported his. Saying he was snoozing. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that weren't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear them talking the whole time in low voices. What? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud. But it still tells us something. Mr. McGilda and the victim knew each other. So McGilda was lying, as I suspected. I knew it
weren't gonna take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, Michaela told me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The two cops from up top ran off to get the coppers. As some Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right, and after they'd gone, McGill did ask a driver to do him a favor. A favor? Now then, fella, what I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it with the nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now. Hey, I'll give you 10 guineas. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street? Yep, you got it. It was Winneback's. The coach just snapped up the money and ran off to pop this coat as fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGill had opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there. But not without conditions. I see. The conditions. What are the conditions? What were Mr. McGill's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean. Not telling a soul. Not for anything. About what I saw and what I heard. And there was something else as well. There's more. Yeah. This is the most important thing. He said... I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me, with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? At all? You asked him to go up your weasel, right? Hey, the fiend's taking me overcoat to dispose it with a pawnbroker hereabouts. And I want you last to take the redemption ticket for it. You understand? What? You want me to have the ticket? That's right, and I can fetch it from you later, sometime within the next 2 months. You're to hang on to it until then, is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. And in case I might happen to be late at all, you're to go to the pawn shop, Winnebank so it is, and you're to extend the loan before the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited and any old fiend could come along and buy it. But I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5. That should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now, if you go against me. Yeah, I get it. Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt. The coppers? Aye. They come asking you to take the stand in court, to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What it is that you might say, and what it is that you won't. So you planned all this? But why did he die then? After he'd gone over it all, I packed it. Got as far away from there as I could. Hit a pawnbroker's and... What? He hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. So McGilda planned it, and coerced Gina into giving false testimony. Damn!
Okay.
I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied. In a big old courtroom. I told some corkers. The thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man. He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we'd had no one to look after us and we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean Mr. McGill would have... In an heartbeat, he could have had a lot of us chased out there if he'd wanted. And then where could we have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So, I didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But, I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it, you must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor. A favor? What? Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Eh? If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Jones was shot, you see. You what? Apparently he's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright, right? That's why I want to investigate. For Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything. Right. So what you're saying is if I sign a bit of paper, everyone's happy, is that it? Something like that. Mr. Sato. Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. Come on! Say yes, Gina! Say yes! Hey, I don't need no one to stick up for me though. No lawyer or nothing. Do you now? Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely. The paperwork signed by Gina to put me in charge of her defense, showing this to Scotland Yard detectives gains a success to the crime scene. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windibanks now. Yes, and perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. Now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can stop us investigating at Windibanks. Yeah! Although something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. To be continued. Okay, wait. To be continued. Give me like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Thank you. I did. Wait, since when have I been muted? Don't tell me I've been muted the entire time. No! Don't tell me. Don't tell me I've been muted the entire time. Oh no. Ah! Fuck. Ah! Just been talking. Pain. Big pain. Damn. Start by staring at one point and slowly crossing your eyes. You should see two overlapping images like this. You try it now, Runo. I'm just going to have to give it a try, I suppose. Here I'm talking and I'm fucking muted, I hate it. The print split into two images for you. Now, the next step is to put the pair of prints side by side like this, and then to try crossing your eyes again. The print should slowly merge together until they form a new single image in the center. Oh yes! So now though it works! I can see it in the middle now. It looks so real. I could look at it all day. I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt. Your turn, Runo. Okay, sure. Pretend you're looking through the two pictures and slowly cross your eyes. Keep adjusting the position of your eyes until the two images overlap exactly in the middle. Like this, is it? Oh, can you not do it? There, you managed it. So now you know how stereoscopic images work. Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary. That it is. So what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Bruno? They're certainly amazing, but it isn't easy to get the knack of viewing them properly. No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist, for people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? Thank you for the posture check. I have literally looked at it before. If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here. Then set the pair of photographs in the stand at the back and look through. It's still amazing, even though I know roughly how it works now. I'm guessing you would be able to see the 3D effect better when this game was still on the 3DS if you actually turn it on. Though I am gonna be honest, I never played with the 3D on my 3DS because it made my eyes hurt. Hello! Goodbye, never mind. Cat comes in, cat leaves immediately. Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. You can find one of these folding contraptions in lots of households in the capital currently. But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them. But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Well, I think so in any case. Stereoscopic pictures, I never even heard of them until yesterday. We certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I've actually need. We got one of those 3D TVs when I was popular and started watching made me sick. Aww! Yeah, I watch very little movies in 3D. You know, as a glasses wearer, it's always kind of awkward to put another pair of glasses on. And also, it just makes my head and eyes hurt. So I'd rather watch a movie in 2D, and it will look fascinating either way. I don't need it in 3D. I think I was forced to watch the second Kung Fu Panda movie at the time in 3D because they just wouldn't show it in 2D. And I loved the movie, but I couldn't enjoy it that much because my head just hurt so much. Can't use contacts because putting stuff in my eye makes me feel me. I feel you. Last time I tried was when I was... Oh, it's been a while. It's been a really long while, but when I last tried to put contacts in, it ended... I tried it at the doctor's actually, and it ended with me not getting one of them out. Like one I could barely get out and the other one I could not get out. And then they had the head doctor come and try to take it out, and we just sat there for half an hour. She was trying to pull it out of my eyes and we could not get it out. Imagine how my eyes looked after half an hour of trying to get a contact lens out. I have not tried to wear them since then because I'm just like, no. That was horrifying. I'd rather wear my glasses. A photograph depicting a sweet little white cat. I feel as though I found out a print just like this one. Maybe because you do. So let me examine this one. No. I always pressed the wrong button. What about the blood on this? I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something rather troubling here. I have noticed. The red smear, you mean? Yes, it looks like blood, doesn't it? I wonder if Suzuka-san had picked up on it. Well, in that case... Yes, we need Iris. We should show this to her before we forget. Oh, okay. Sure. Pawnbroker's ticket. There's what looks like a bloody fingerprint on it. Okay, let's show it to her then. We have not had to present a lot of stuff yet. How do I present it to her? Just the full thing? How do I... There we go. Glasses also hide the circles in my eyes from not having healthy sleeves. Mine don't. Mine don't. I have, you know, you've seen them. I have those round glasses. In real life as well, actually. It looks like blood. I would say it's from a gloved finger. Almost certainly a glove made of leather. Well, don't worry, Runo. You can leave the rest to me. Get those big round glasses. Yes! I like round glasses. Ooh! Look at that. Yes, it's a color we haven't seen before, isn't it? Almost bugs me when I get big glasses. Oh, why? I don't like the completely round ones, but I like those that are like, not completely straight on top and then round on the bottom. Those kind of things. The completely round ones can look weird, but like... She doesn't like them, but it's your face and your glasses, right? The fuck? I always have my mom find glasses for herself because she's like, I don't know, I can't tell what looks good on me. But I can. She doesn't see that way. Aww. I'm sorry. We simply must add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Sure. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point. Well, this particular stain of blood... Oh, you've had an idea, haven't you? Yeah. You know whose blood this is? I think I do. But thank you for everything. Hey. No worries. I know the pain. I know a lot of people. But the mom especially is like, oh no, you cannot cut your hair that length or you cannot dye it that color. Even though, you know, it's my hat, it's my hair. I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. What do you mean? Not from the color turn, but with a little deduction. That happened like a week ago, damn. I hate that. It's like, you can do to your own hair what you want, and I can do to my hair what I want. It's not a problem for me. Luckily. I can do whatever I want with my hair, but I know lots of people. Covered in everything, I didn't get a haircut for a while. Hi, new Haichi! How are you? So I'm just gonna eat my last waffle. I'm hungry. But I haven't got a haircut in a while. I just cut it myself now. No. The good thing about hair is that it grows back. So you just need to wait, it grows back. You didn't share the waffle, I'm sorry. Would you like a piece? Say ah. I think it's clear. Iris, you know as well? You first, Runo. Who do you think it belongs to? Alright, I believe that this is the blood of Mr. Mason. Rice-fired Mason. You don't sound very sure of yourself the way you trail off there. Well, it was 2 months ago, not that case. And of course I never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely Trice-fired though. Ah, here you go. A little waffle for you. The victim of the omnibus case. Yeah. Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Trice-fired Mason. But that would mean that this bloodstain was left on a ticket 2 months ago. Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Winniebanks yesterday. I'm suggesting that the bloodstain was already on it at that time. Unbelievers kept no effort to giving me free food. I like sharing. So it's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilda was also wearing leather gloves that night. No! Now I have powdered sugar on my keyboard. That was not what I wanted to do. Fuck. Ah. That was not the plan. Pain. Pain pickle. No. It was not the plan. I hate it. Hold on. This is why you don't eat at your computer, kids. No. Hey. I need to clean this thing up. Fuck. I see now. I see now why my mom says don't eat food at your table or desk or whatever, but I do it anyway. Ha ha ha. This is what I get. Now ask you is what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach. I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. Now you kill him. It certainly does look like a leather glove thumbprint, this mark. But we know that Mr. McGilda had no injuries at the time anywhere on his body. From which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason. Mr. Naruto, you sound just like Mr. Shomes. Do I? Minus the quirky slip-ups, I hope. Yes, I think you're right, Bruno. Very well, let's make a note of this. Oh, The blood on it has been identified as Mr. Mason's. Well, we think it is. We can't tell. Also, the man is dead, so we can't, you know, make sure of it. But it's a very high possibility. Alright. Can I... Excuse me. Can I actually look at the back room now? The storeroom. The actual scene of the crime. Oh-ho! 16th of April, Windybank storeroom. That's a pretty big room. I'm surprised. There's a gramophone there. Mm. Poor Iris, she's clamped up completely. Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windybank's life was taken in this very room only last night. I think it's more about Gina. Not about Mr. Windybank being dead, right? Hi! Ah! Hi. Wait, Inspector! What is it now, Sunshine? You took one look at me and tried to run away. You think a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from some jumped up little defense lawyer, do ya? Well... I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before is the thing. I didn't know what to say to her. So you weren't running away from me, you were running away from a 10-year. I see! I'm afraid this is all a little too much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector. Eh? Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you? Bro! That's not helping? I don't think that went very well. Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine, and I told you not to get under my feet. Well, damn, bro. And we have investigating to do ourselves. Yes. I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say. Oh, Hurley. And inquire into how Mr. Shom's operation is going. Sure. Talk to me, boy. Man. Sir. Dude. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here? Psha, you've got eyes, haven't you? Use them. This is what it looks like, nothing more, nothing less. Iris, could you lend me a hand? So, Graxie, what do you make of the crime scene here? Oh yes, your ladyship, do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to the storeroom was found locked from the inside. So it was locked from the inside. I mean, that's literally what you also found it to be, no? The lock appears to be broken now, though. Was that the police officers doing? Quite right, ma'am. Quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in, as humbly as possible. Oh. As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor, this wise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutted child. Are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector. Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was curled up on the floor, dead to the world. She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. And I'm afraid to say she had the gun that was used in her hand. No! True. It looks like a very big gun, but maybe it's just a model. Presumably it's the gun that's still down there on the floor now. The poor girl gets involved in so many cases, and she is not at fault. In her pocket we found the key to the door as well. What? The key to the storeroom? And you say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector? Correct. All of which leaves her ladyship's friend in something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. Obviously, my personal opinion is that it's all some sort of misunderstanding. Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. Grexy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright? Is he? The thing is, don't mince your words, Inspector. Please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is... No, the operation's done and dusted. It's just that, well... Out with it! Yes, ma'am! They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing. Renders the whole body insensitive. The whole body anesthetized. Is that even possible? It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep. Goodness, in the Empire of Japan we can just manage to provide laughing gas for tooth extraction. The trouble is the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for him to nod off, or so I hear. And now that the OP's finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently. Oh my. A friend of mine had his wisdom tooth extracted. And he was gone. He was so far gone. Like his mom filmed him for a bit. He was just like, talking nonsense. And I'm just glad I've never had a problem with my wisdom teeth, because I am scared I'll be the exact same. It's like I don't want to know what I would be talking about when I get put under anesthetic. No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in his system or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes around again. He's probably exhausted. Golly. The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you. What a surprise! Even in matters of life and death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way. Don't be mean. Alright, let me look at the stuff here then. Wait. What's this? Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them. Can't believe how many there are. A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings, look. Pieces of different people's lives quietly gathering dust in here together. There's something very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. Or at least there would be, if not for that chokeout line on the floor and the policeman shuffling around. Not much I can do about that, sunshine. Did I say that out loud? Okay, what about this highly suspicious chest? Out of all the articles in the storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked. Ah! What is it, Iris? That's the box file that my manuscript was being kept in. Oh. Iris' unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles? Surely that's not what all this is. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. We must check inside the box, at once. Yes. Well, it's going to be empty, isn't it? Ah. It was there. Iris' story was there. Really, it was. Well, that's good news, isn't it, Miss Iris? Yes. I mean, of course I believed Hurley when he said he deposited it here, but still. It's a relief to actually see it. Really, because that's not a very well hidden throne. Oh, it's still a long unpublished story that Mr. Sholmes deposited at the pawnbrokery of the victim, Mr. Windibank. It's entitled The Hound of the Baskervilles. I hate... I don't know how to talk. Okay, wait, what else can I look at? The bicycle? No. The gun? This is a revolver, a real one. And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Windibank's life. Is it his own revolver? What's the matter, Susie? You don't look like you're about to faint. Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh. And I've had issues with guns in a Oh! What issues? What issues with guns? Oh, the first case. Never. I was like, oh, what kind of backstory? But of course, the first case where he was to defend himself was because of a gun. Tell me, guns are made of flesh, they're made of metal. Ha 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 ha. But anyway, we saw Mr. Winterbank with this yesterday, didn't we? So it is his own, okay. I shall have to take my own life. No, your life will be taken. It must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand. Mr. Winterbeck told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Bullet. Why did I say bullet? Bullet. Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun had been fired. You know, though, maybe I'm reaching here, but the storeroom is not a completely closed room in that sense because of the spy hole. And also, he died because he fell forward. He had his back to the door and he was shot in the back. So someone could have easily shot him through the spy hole. And it very well may have been the case. Gina broke in. He knocked out Gina. Well, I don't see why he would lock the room. But he may have planted the gun. I mean, I don't know who killed him yet, but he may have planted a gun in Gina's hands. He could have locked the room from the inside. Someone could have shot him through the spy hole and could have gotten away. No one would be the wiser because he's dead in the room. Gina was unconscious, leaving her as the only one who could have possibly killed him. But I don't know. We're missing quite a lot of information yet, I feel. So you can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver. Okay, what about the most obvious thing in the room? The police have marked the position of the body with a chalk line. Poor Mr. Winterbank, he was a nice old man. Well, he was shot just once through the heart. Most likely, the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. That's a good thing, at least. This must be his blood, then. Ah! Oh, true. I don't like to ask at such red times, Cybers, but I wonder if perhaps... Don't worry, Susie. I'm ready for action. So, what color is this one going to be? Blue! So, now we know the color the chemical turns when it reacts with Mr. Winterbank's blood. And it doesn't match our analysis of the bloodstain we found in the main shop. No, but let's add the sample to the others we've already collected anyway. Sure. We should check our own blood just in case, I feel. Alrighty. Inspector, what do you make of this? Ah, what have we here then? A redemption ticket for an article deposited here, is it? Looks like someone ran out of office stationery and wrote the ticket in whatever paper was to hand. Yes, this is a ticket for Mr. McGildett's overcoat, the one that the diver turned up with yesterday. Oh, actually no, it's not. Really? Think you know better than me, do ya? No, I didn't mean to, You was right, Graxie, it isn't the same ticket. Of course it isn't, of course it isn't. I never doubted your ladyship. So what's all this about then, if I might be so bold as to ask? This is a second ticket. A second one. It seems that Mr. McGildet in fact had another article in storage here at Winterbank's. Is that right? I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Nanahudo. Oh good, because he's ever so easy to talk to. Nice, there we go. This ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGillicud's overcoat. You mean to tell me? Yes, there was more than just a music box disc, it seems. Should have insisted on the lads taking it back to the yacht and examining it properly. Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGillicud deposited another article here with Mr. Winterbank. Yes, I can see it written here. A small box, was it? Do you have any idea what it is, Grexy? Any idea at all? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGillicud. It could be an important clue. Well, yes, I suppose it could be. Please stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes full of hope and expectation. I'm going to fucking scream. How many more of these stupid bots are there going to be? I swear to God. It's like I can't even say thanks to someone following because I have to think, oh, is it going to be another bot or is it a real person? I'm going to ban them all. I've already banned so many, like, before they even had a chance to follow me. God. Just let people stream, can't you? Too much pressure. If I lose my marbles, I will. I go balking. This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector. It's enough sauce from you, Sunshine. There's one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, hasn't it? Oh yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months. So the small box will no longer be in here then. That's right, it's been forfeited. Which means it could be on the shelves in the front of the shop, where the forfeited items are offered for sale. Yes, the shelves in the front. We must search them at once. You're wasting your time. Oh, there are dozens of little boxes out there, hundreds even. We can't possibly know which one might have been McGillicud's. That information's not written in the ledger. Damn. Well, I think we should at least have a look, just in case. Of course, your ladyship, of course. You're very sensible of you, I'm sure. This is getting old. Whoa. I nearly jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Winterbank such a wicked trap? I doubt he set out to scare anyone. Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon. Oh? Her trial's tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind. Don't you remember, Runo? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer. Really? Did I say that? Yes, you did. The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching. In that case, we'd better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again. Sure, okay. Wait, I have not looked at the script yet. Can I read it? Hoon of Basketballs. Wow, ooh, that's a big script, damn. Or the hound, I guess. Why do I always say hound? I can't find anything out of place. Okay, you can't. Sure. Anyway. Prison time. Prison. _16th of April, 5:41 p.m. Local prison cell 13. Ah, Gina, good. You're back. Ah. The police must have finished questioning her then. Oh, how was it, Ginny? Was it awful? Didn't bother me. Thank you for the papers you sent before. It meant we were able to investigate the Winterbanks. Oh, right. Don't you want to know how we got on? We've been ever so busy. the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying. That I did it. That's not... Gina, we came to ask for your final decision. Eh? What decision? About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not?
Say yes. Say yes, Gina.
Excuse me. I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Nanahudo to represent you. Right, I see. She's really lost her fight all of a sudden, but I don't know what that feels like. The war is just so hard to bear. Right, and let's see. We found the script, by the way. Oh, no, present it. We found this in Mr. Winterbank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris's latest story. Ah! Oh, right. Well, that's good then. Curiously, the storeroom at Winterbank showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception. The box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night? Eh? You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it? Why don't you tell us what happened? Please. One second. Let me show you something else as well. Here, Gina. Look at this. No tap. I wasn't saying you could have it. Oh, weren't you? Well, when someone says I can't have stuff, it makes me want it, see? So you better hand it over now. No, I'm not giving it to you. I wanted to show you. Wait, how do I do that? Oh, I have to show her a specific sample, maybe. Which one do I show her then? Do I just show her all of them? No. How do I... Maybe I just don't show her any and we talk first. Alright, yeah. This Baskerville story, it's the latest Holmes adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figured it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right? Oh yes, at least 5,000 pounds. What? So, you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you? No, Ginny, how could you? What? Wait, no, hang on. Of course I wasn't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out if the manuscript, or whatever you call it, really was there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place. For Iris's sake, isn't that right? You knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did. But... I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it. Well, when I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you'd said the night before. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced lies, lots of them. You just didn't realize it yet. I'm telling ya, that mantle script ain't no Winnie Banks. You'd soon see if you had a look. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Oh, Ginny, that was so sweet of you. Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris.
Tell me.
It wasn't because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth, that's all. You wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest. If he'd really deposited the manuscript at Winterbanks. It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She's got a dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be harder. That's why she writes her stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying. Stories about Daddy. You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective? So much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner. Well, that's how I see it, yeah. Aww. You're so thoughtful and so kind, Ginny. Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we? Look, give it a rest, will ya? I hate all this chummy nonsense. You hear? I hate it. I don't trust no one, right? That's how it works. Because if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarper. No. I will not. I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat are some very suspicious red stains. What? Why are you looking at me like that? I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Gina now. Ah, now we can. Okay. Let's talk about these two things first, though. I'm going in the completely wrong order, but that's okay. Alright then, buy me, give it a rest with the mice, Iris. So come on then, fill us in. Who done it? Unfortunately, we don't know that yet. You don't say. We don't know yet, Gina. Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime. And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish. Oh yeah? Like what? Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know why you broke into Winterbanks that night. We already talked about that. Technically. We already have the representation papers and other documents we need. All we have to do is hand them to the court clerk. That is, if you allow me to represent you in court tomorrow. Nah, don't bother. Ginny, rip them up and chuck them, would ya? Them representation papers or whatever they're called. The cell ain't fancy enough to ever been. So, what will you do in court tomorrow? I'll be fine on my own. I don't think you will be. Look, it don't matter. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. This is one stubborn pickpocket. Okay, listen. Let me show you these again, because now it should work. Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet. What? Blood, Mr. Naruhodo. You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So could it be blood that spattered from Mr. Winterbank when he was shot last night? Let's not beat around the bush here. This trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else. Take it easy, Iris. Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot. Oh. Oh my. What the? Forget the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course, the black color of the fabric is masking the stains. That's why we haven't seen them until now. And it's purple! And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color, which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly. Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood? Ah, yes, it was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago. I knew it. What? What are you all on about? The victim? What do you mean? It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. Emmett Amnable's case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Alright, would somebody explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story. So you got rid of it. no coat, no blood, so there was no blood on him except for on his glove. We can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilder's overcoat. But in a trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains could never arisen from McGilder trying to pull the victim to his feet. No, if that was what had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat. The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over McGilder's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I've tried to run from the truth for long enough, but there's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilder. Mr. Naruhodo, that horrible case is solved at last, and I helped the man walk free from that trial. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen? Bruno, did you believe him though? Did you believe Mr. McGilder was innocent? I believed, or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon. A weapon? Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson. You mean Kazuma-sama? Listen, Yonosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief. Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly. It's funny, Gina. Of course, sounds like in this empire of Japan you come from, everyone must be soft. Well, come on, look at the mess it's got you into, believing in a bog trotter. Yes, I inadvertently helped the murderer walk free. Rah, rah, rah. Well, at least you've learned your lesson now, eh? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you've had it. That's not true, Gina. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one, get hurt by no one. Gina, may I ask you something? What? I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial? How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and check them away. Are you really sure that's what you want? I bet that's what it wants and all now, Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in a trial 2 months ago. I let everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely. You were forced to do that. Well, Mr. Naruhodo. A lawyer's primary rep is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened. I trust her. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial. Heh? Are you half-baked? Not at all. You've never once admitted to committing a crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth. Seriously, Mr. Naruhodo. Didn't you hear all of what I said before? I'm a born liar. Fibs just trip off my tongue, and I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you into all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust me now? I just don't get it. Gina, I do understand why you choose not to put your trust in others, but I assure you, there's more to this life than you yet realize. What do you mean? The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down. It's true that I'm just a student of law and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience, but I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath, I'm completely on your side. Aww. What do you expect me to say to that? Aww. Then as decided, I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. Do what you like. Yeast and Lotta are... I don't know what you are, I don't get ya. Tina's taken herself off to the back of her cell. She never admitted, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end, I think. Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice. Susato. Somebody's there in the shadows, I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before. What? The fuck? Blimey, you're sharp, eh? I suppose you were using one of those mystic Japanese arts, like the art of stealth I've heard so much about. If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector. Rexy. Oh dear me, I'm most terribly sorry, your ladyship, I didn't mean to startle you. How long have you been listening in on our conversation? Good grief, listening in? No. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave even though it was after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived this very minute, not a moment earlier. That's all it is, nothing untoward, nothing at all. After hours? Is it that late already? So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-da! Toodaloo! Cheerio! All the best! Bye-bye and bye. That's a lot of farewells, and not one of them appropriate for her ladyship. Oh, but I wanted to have a chat. I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressing at the minute. See, that's a shame. If I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpest, Lord Strongheart will, well... Emergency? Lord Strongheart? Nothing! Forgot I said anything! Anyway, I'm off! Alright, Grexy, if you have to. But let's chat soon. Delighted! Charmed! Can't wait! If you please, my pleasure! That's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere. Grexy's so funny, he says such silly things. It's certainly entertaining to see an inspector of the police fawning to a 10-year-old girl. But anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Supreme Court. I must attend the court clerk's office now before it closes. Yes, of course. Thank you, Mrs. Sato. What is it? Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later. The fuck? And so our investigation came to an end. Susato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan. 16th of April, 11:30 p.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted. What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes was shot before our eyes, Gina was arrested, all on the back of the news that her father has fallen ill and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon. Thank you for your kind words. What is it? I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm, and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them. I know exactly what you mean. Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow. One final task. What is it? It's just 2 months since we arrived in London, but we've managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret. I'm so sorry, Susato-san. It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts. I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel I've learned something. And what would that be? It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities. Facets? And like a jewel, the light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we see only a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only a part of the whole story. That's very flowery talk, isn't it? What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on for as long as we live. That's so true. Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much, but I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear. That all the facets will be illuminated and I finally understand how everything fits together. Naruhodo-san. I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark. It's amazing to think it's been just 2 months. You've grown so much. Sorry? I've what? Oh no, it was nothing. Unimportant. Aww. Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning? Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 AM. What? I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station. Absolutely not. Sorry? I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow. Gina's trial. Yes, I know, but every vote you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try. 4 AM. That means she has to pack still, so she's going to get less than 4 hours of sleep, right? You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What did you mean? Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this. What is that? Some huge bundle of documents. It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus. Oh, the McGilder case. It seems to me that this case of Mr. Winterbank's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you. Oh, with everything else she's had to think about, Susato-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in a beautiful handwriting. It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina. Thank you so much, Susato-san. I will do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there. Oh, ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself. Notes collected by Miss Susato about the McGilder case that we worked on 2 months ago. Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room. Susato-san, I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night. Wait, there's something I need to say. Whoa, what? What was that? A secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown. Shutdown? Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears. Oh no, baby! Baby! Susato-san. Baby, no! Come back. I don't want her to leave. Truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and knowing the truth about the nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally I was exhausted, and yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes, and as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind, eventually my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. Hmm. 17 April, small hours at St. Sinner's Hospital, Ward 3. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. Who's talking? Ah. Rest assured, I should put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. My dear madam. Ah! Susato-san has some secrets, doesn't she? I wonder what they are. To be continued. To be continued. Do I want to continue them right now, though? I don't actually, because then we're going to get started on the actual full trial, you know. And I want to experience that trial for real. Nope. So we're going to not do that. We're going to go back to the title. I know. Oh, and we get this as a background scene. I think that's really cool that wherever you save, you get that background here on the main scene of the game. On the main screen, sorry, on the main screen of the game. That's really cool. But nice, this is good, because this means I, you know, caught up on all the investigation that we could not do yesterday. So we can continue on with the trial next time, which is going to be Saturday next week. And I'm guessing it's going to be two streams. I'm guessing it's going to be 2 streams because I feel like it's going to be a long case, right? So the trial is going to be long as well. But then we can do the full thing next week. And that sounds like a good idea. You are back! You are back, and I was just about to end. Are you done with stream? Yeah, we finished all the investigation stuff. So I don't want to get started on the trial yet. Thanks for the stream. No, thank you for coming. I know that this is not when I usually stream. On that note, though, we're going to be streaming again tonight, the regularly scheduled stream, by the way, which is going to be Taisho Alice. But yeah, I'm just going to set up Hold up. Celebrate. Surprisingly, there's people online right now, which is nice. I did not think anyone would be live, because this is not the time I'm usually on. But here's the raid. Oh wait. Well, yeah, okay. Here's the raid message. As always, thank you so much for coming. Let's say hello. Let me just quickly put on the ending song.
Hehe.
And then I'll say bye-bye. See you all very soon. I wish you all a very good, well, whatever time it is, a good rest of the day, a good night, whatever. I hope you have a nice day.
Yes, you too. See you later.
I cannot say good night. Normally I say good night. I cannot do that, but
Bye bye.